Hello again. I just wanted to do another video that would allow us to go a little more in depth and get up closer to some of these cards. And first we're going to start off with the light Arcanine that I was mentioning from the Neo Destiny set. Like I said, it was the first and I think only set to showcase the light variation cards. It also, like I said, is notorious for having, if you can see there, that shining through on the border. That was extremely common for the holographic cards in this set, and therefore makes them increasingly hard to grade in the higher grades, such as PSA 9 and especially PSA 10. This card especially, given that the artwork is so beautiful on it, makes it an extremely valuable card, a great card to invest in. Now, this card, since it actually is one of the better conditions, you can see on the back there's not much whitening at all. So this is actually a pretty good example of this card. And because of that, this will be the kind of card that I actually do keep for my personal collection. And as you can see, it's just great art. That magenta color really brings out the light kind of feel of the card. Very gentle look. He looks a little uncomfortable there in that position, but very light and aloof nonetheless. Now here, the Lugia, like I said, kind of the Charizard of Neo Genesis, a card that is a little volatile in its price, which is why I was mentioning listing it as an auction rather than trying to determine a price myself in a buy it now format, which is how I do most of my cards. Now this card is also looking really good on the back borders, except here on that bottom border. It's got a little bit of wear, which is definitely going to prevent it from making the PSA 10 grade. And for cards that I keep for my personal collection, that I'm essentially investing in as well, I do like to keep the higher grade cards. There's a little bit of light scratching on the hollow, also a little bit of dirt here. So definitely will go up for auction, but still excellent condition. Almost, I would say, in the near mint range, and should get a good price on auction. Next, we'll go to the Gym Heroes and Challenge set cards. This Sabrina's Gengar is a card that has consistently sold for a good deal of money, up to $30, even in the unlimited printing. This card is almost in the near mint range. It's got a tiny bit of wear, especially on the bottom again, the bottom back border. But other than that, definitely a near mint card. And that's the kind of stuff you're going to look for when you're evaluating the card's condition, is whether there is any scratching on the hollow, no matter how light, especially if there's any scratching on the face of the card non-hollow, if there's any dirt or creases or bends. But this card looks really nice. It's got a little bit of wear up top as well, so definitely it wouldn't even make PSA 9. You gotta understand, with PSA, a PSA 9 is mint. Even a PSA 8, near mint is a difficult grade to achieve. This Rocket Scyther, also very nice condition. It has some little heavier wear up top. And all around the back border. I would call a card like this excellent condition, above the light play condition, but below the near mint. I'd probably call it excellent to near mint, or excellent to near mint minus, because a card like this is still going to look excellent, great in a binder, but for a person that wants it for grading purposes, for kind of an investment, or just a person that is really serious about only mint cards, it's going to be not worth as much. This Erica actually is one of the cards I would actually consider a candidate for PSA 9, because there's almost no wear at all on the border of this card, on the back border. And the front, it's got a nice hollow swirl. That's something a lot of people like to note on listings. If you see a swirl hollow, that's what they're talking about right there. Now with this one, the pre-release, I mentioned the Clefable and the Gyarados. This one, there's also a pre-release Dragonair in Dragon Frontiers, and there's probably others. I'm not super up to date with the pre-release cards. Now, I guess I should mention the fabled pre-release Raichu, which is an unconfirmed kind of card. PSA won't grade it because they can't confirm its origins. So because of that, I mean, anyone could print it. So it's not really a serious collectible at this point in time until something changes. And these are the only difference between the Gym Heroes and Challenge is that you'll see the darker swirl, and then it's got the white and with the dark inside. It's got the dark with the white inside. Also just that kind of light wear. It's still going to be in the near mint range, which is a good condition for most collectors. Most collectors don't mind buying in this because, once you get to the mints and gem mint ranges, that's kind of a special collector that is specifically looking for that, just because they kind of want to achieve, they want to go above and beyond in a sense, which is totally cool. A little bit of wear. Otherwise, another great card, near mint. Alright, then we'll go to these fossil cards now. Now, I was talking about the Vaporeon being historically easy to scratch on the hollow, and this card isn't as much as others, but you can see it's actually pretty good, but still, it's just so hard to find these without any scratches at all. You really got to get it straight out of the pack if you want this card in at least PSA 9 condition. There's the Flareon. Another very popular card. This is in that near mint range as well. It's got a bit of a nick there, but other than that, looks great. Mr. 9. Just a little bit of wear. Another near mint card. I try to always be harsh on my grading because it's always safer to undervaluate the grade and keep the customers happy. That's another thing I'll talk about. Like right now I have 100% positive feedback on my eBay. After, I think this month, I've had around 400 ratings. And that's something that's just really important to me, to give good customer service. I mean, I think if you're being honest and you're trying to truly provide a service to your customer, and it's really not that hard to keep your feedback at 100%, and that provides trust and security for your customers and makes them more likely to deal with you because you're proven trustworthy, and that's a good thing. Let's see if I could show you a card that has, I know I saw a card with a crease in it. Well, for now, we'll go to the Neo cards. Unknown. I don't know a lot of unknown collectors, but I could see that it'd be interesting to have a whole set of them, the whole alphabet. I know the Alf lithograph card in, I forgot what set it is in, is still holding for about $15, and it's a non-holographic rare trainer card. This card has a nice hollow swirl, and it's a good position. It looks like Houndour is almost looking at the swirl. Looks like there's a little bit of dirtiness right there. That can be taken off. Oh, this has got a little bit of damage. I would still call this card excellent condition because the front is, looks almost near mint. I could probably just get this probably come off without damaging the card. Espeon. This was probably the first Espeon card released. Unless this was, because there was a dark Espeon in Neo Destiny. So I think it was the last set of the Neo. I could be wrong about that. I can double check. And there's that Umbreon. Under the full moon, nice blue sky, dark blue sky with the light of the moon. You can see how the light of the moon makes the sky lighter, and then it gets darker as it gets farther away from the light of the moon. And Umbreon just sits there as the dark centerpiece. It's a great card. This card, I think that it's this is the kind of card, along with Light Arcanine, that the artwork alone really increases the value of these cards. Alright, I'm going to talk about these shining cards. These are not Wizards of the Coast era cards. And just something to note about these shining cards is these were notoriously centered not so well. This one is actually centered pretty good. When I say centered, I'm talking about the yellow border being proportional on all sides, and that's something that PSA does look for when they grade, and you have to have at least 60 to 40 ratio to get PSA 10. And so the thing about these is, since they are newer, the amount of higher grade cards, even PSA 10, is so much higher that it drives down the price for them. But there is that aspect of them being off-centered so often that the PSA 10 still does hold some value, because since so many were off-centered to the point that they couldn't get PSA 10, it still did give a nice price point for the PSA 10 versus the 9. And this Rayquaza is also centered really nice. I mean, I've had some of these Rayquazas that were just centered horribly. Just like like 90 to 10 ratio. And this one's even centered nice, so that's good. I might consider getting them graded, although there's some, I wouldn't get it graded just because of that. That would probably knock it down. We'll see. Here is the base set cards. I'll note that with these Blastoise, I see this really commonly. Scratches on the face of the card of these Blastoises, on Blastoise itself, and down here lower. I guess just with the printing of these, they weren't as durable earlier on, and they were much easier to scratch the card itself. So that's something really common. It's got some kind of print defect lines. Light scratching on the hollow. Still a really nice condition. It's centered nice. There's some wear. I'd call this excellent condition. I wouldn't say it goes to the point of being light played, although it's kind of on the border. Alakazam, Ninetales, Machamp. You know, something cool about the Machamp card is for a long time I just considered, well, everyone knows that all Machamps are first edition, right? Well, that's actually not right. There is a Machamp in the Trainer Deck B or Trainer Deck A, which was given out to gym leaders during the early days of Pokemon in these sets, these decks, these play decks, to promote the game. And those Machamps, not only are they not first edition, but they're not holographic. And they're on eBay right now. They go for well over $5,000 each. And that's actually a card that I really would like for my collection eventually. That is one of the cards I plan on investing in. Just because it's iconic. Because the Machamp, it was unique because of the fact that they were all first edition. Even the Unlimited, like this one, still has a first edition stamp. So the fact that there's a Machamp card that actually isn't first edition, makes it very unique and special. Venusaur. So all in all, these are the kind of cards that I'm happy with. It's nice when I buy binders and I do find a few cards that are PSA 10 contenders and I can keep for myself and send in to get graded. Not so much with this binder, but still good condition for buyers because they're all in the excellent to near mint, maybe a few being in the light play plus condition. Alright, and stay tuned. I will be making a video very soon about a specific set I am collecting that I have completed, and I won't tell you what it is yet. You'll have to wait and see. It should be up tomorrow or the next day. I'll see you then.